Hello, what's your name? Jennifer, don't
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay, what is your name?
My name is MLS Favor David.
Okay. The way you said it, that means you really earn it.
Yes, of course.
So, I want to ask, why did you choose to be a medical laboratory scientist?
I chose medical because, okay, let's start from the beginning. I wanted medicine and surgery, right? But when I was doing my jam form, I knew that if I don't get medicine and surgery, they'll give me another department like physiology, anatomy, and I did not want anything like that. So I told myself, okay, I'll choose med lab because I know that if I get it, I'll be happy with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
So,
knew
so why do you say you'd be happy with it?
because they work in the lab. I work in the lab now, hallelujah. So I just knew that if not medicine and surgery, med lab is the go-to option. Right? But I did not feel medicine and surgery in my jam form. I put med lab there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know there was a risk of not meeting up with the cutoff for medicine and surgery and being displaced, so I did not want that to happen. So I just told myself, let me just go for medical and science, so I got it, and here I am, a first class graduate. I'm telling it's not easy.
Wow, congrats to that. Okay, so is there any hard parts when it comes to being a medical laboratory scientist?
Me from my school experience on now,
Like, as you're practicing?
okay. Well, I won't call it hard. I would just say that med lab requires a lot of studying and staying updated because research has made our practice evolve over the time. So you have to stay updated, you have to keep researching. When we work here with our senior scientists, they ask us questions and you will have issues if you don't do your homework by reading and studying, knowing the latest developments and how, what is obtainable now. MedLab then is not MedLab now, so yeah, that's just it.
Okay, so any tips to give our upcoming scientists?
Okay, for those that are undergraduates in different universities studying medical laboratory science, my advice to you is study smart. I won't say study hard because everybody does a lot of things in school, right? But if you know what works for you as a student, stick with it. And then as you're navigating medical laboratory science, make sure that you take good advantage of your postings, your hosts, so that you can see what you are being taught theoretically in class. You can have a feel of it. Even if everybody goes around playing with their phones, trying to skip the posting, make sure that you're intentional about it, and then eventually you enjoy it when you start practicing.
Okay, thank you so much for being on the channel.
Guys, my name is Scientist Vision Uzoma, and the reason why I chose to be a medical laboratory scientist, when I was in high school, I had this desire to get the cure for HIV and AIDS disease. So, someone came for a seminar in our school, and so I asked the question. I was like, sir, that I have a desire to get to find the cure for HIV and AIDS disease. Now, what course am I going to study when I get to the university? And he said it's good for me to go for pharmacy. So while applying, I tried to get pharmacy in the university, but I was not able to get. So I was offered medical lab sciences. So I embraced the course, and thankfully, it's also in the area of diagnosis, diagnose what's wrong with the patient. Now the different tests. And another reason why I chose medical lab sciences is because I don't have to have direct contact with the patients, because I don't want patient problem or their wahala. Or they say, "Ma, come, where are you now? Come." Okay, you're not attending to me. They'll be shouting, making so much issues. But as a medical lab scientist, I'm just with my machines. I'm just running the different tests and diagnosing.
Good afternoon, I'm Scientist Brooks. I'm currently in microbiology and soon to go to MAT. So the reason why I wanted to become a medical laboratory scientist,
Hey y'all, come look at this.
along the line, I caught myself smiling when I was doing stool sample, somebody's actual sheet. I caught myself smiling and I realized, how am I doing this? Do I enjoy doing this? And I didn't have the questions. I didn't have the answers to those questions then. But I'll tell you now, I am a full-time scientist going through my internship training and the path to getting my permanent license. former books would have not appreciated this, but I don't care what former books thinks. I'm a scientist. I love my profession, and I'll tell you why I didn't have the answers then. But moving forward is when you start something, you get to know. So if you're saying this and you think you can become a medical laboratory scientist, you can. If you are not sure, don't do it. Don't go and kill somebody. Don't take someone's life. But then while going through, you go through school, you go through proper training, so you definitely become a professional and capable scientist. So yeah.
I actually chose medical laboratory science because deep down, I always felt that the two courses I wanted to actually do, which is nursing and medical laboratory science, among these two, it was only medical laboratory science that I felt wasn't a profession that felt like you are serving the doctors. So I chose medical laboratory science to be independent of doctors' intrusion. Regardless, in a hospital like a big hospital like this, we always work together, but it's still independent of doctors' interruptions like that. And the other one is because I wanted a course that had both genders equally represented. Nursing didn't have both genders, but unlike these days, yes, guys are going into nursing, but it's still on the lower side. So that was the reason. Alright, a tip I'll give anyone who wishes to enter into this profession as a student, I would say embrace the course. Yeah, anything you want to do, just have this open mind. This course is a course where you are the major VIP in the hospital setting, in a patient's life. So if you embrace this course, you are going to enjoy it all the way, not minding what anybody says about it. The course is the most beautiful, and I would say the bedrock of science. So embrace it. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm scientist Favour. And why did I choose to be a medical laboratory scientist? I think my main reason is because of the aura it's carried. I was left with like nothing to choose from, and I didn't like the fact that nurses, like the idea I had then about nurses is they're like the way they have like one particular dressing, and I didn't like that. And you know, being a medical laboratory scientist helps you to like dress, express yourself in dressing. You're dressing professional. That's like my kind of way of dressing. And when you're not, you know, being all professional with your lab coats and being able to handle machines and you know, just how would I put it? Confirming a diagnosis. Yeah, it's more like we are telling the doctors what to do, like, yes, this is the cause of the problem and not this. Like, it just gives that aura, you know. I'm just going to pick up samples and being all dressed, and when I'm going to work in the morning, dressed in my corporate, and you know, it just gives me that, I love it, the aura. It makes me feel so good. So I think that's my core reason for choosing to be a medical laboratory scientist. As my colleague have said, we are the real MVPs in the hospital, meaning that without us, there will be no diagnosis. Without us, the doctor cannot know what's wrong with you. We are the ones that are in the laboratory, knowing your PCB, knowing your blood pressure, knowing if you have sugar, and if there's a mistake from us, that means the patient is going through a lot, like it might even cause death. So we are actually the bedrock medical science.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Ugochi Manuela.
Alright. Why did you choose the course medical laboratory science?
I'm very sure that a lot of medical laboratory scientists will say what I'm about to say, but I chose medicine, right? And because I didn't want to stay an extra year at home, after seeing my job, I scored high. God knows I did my best. But it doesn't mean that the score would not, admit me to medicine and surgery, so I changed course to med lab. And to be frankly honest and to be real, I ended up loving med lab as a course.
Oh wow. Alright. Do you have any tip for anyone who is entering this profession?
Any tip?
Okay, what I will suggest you to do is radio.